Hey guys, what's going on? Do you want to know how to sell on Amazon and make profit for under $300? Then stay tuned. I'm going to show you guys an easy way to make a profit on Amazon and start a business off Amazon for under $300. Actually, even better, if you want, you can do it for under $200, but I just moved it up to give you more room to make more money. So let's dive into it. So the first and most important thing you're going to need to sell on Amazon is an Amazon seller account. So they have two different types of Amazon seller accounts. They have the basic, or the beginner or individual, and they have the pro. You're going to want to get the pro, and it's going to be $39.99 per month. And this allows you to use third-party applications, which we're going to use and you'll probably use in the future. And it also allows you to sell on Amazon FBA, which is the whole cornerstone of this whole operation. So Amazon FBA, real quick, is fulfilled by Amazon, and it's basically a way for you to sell your products without you actually shipping them. So you buy a bunch of products, send it to Amazon, and when someone purchases it, they send it out for you 2-day prime. So this is a really easy way for you to work now and have cash flow trickle in over time. Obviously, the more products you buy and how consistently you're buying them, the longer this cash flow can sustain. We're going to be talking about where you're going to source your products from. So we've got retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, or named RA and OA. So let's start with retail arbitrage. So this is anything where you're going to a retail store and finding things that are marked down on clearance, and you scan them. You can either use like Scout IQ. I personally recommend for physical retail arbitrage to use the Amazon seller app, which they provide to you if you are an Amazon seller. So you can just go ahead and scan that. It'll tell you right away that you can sell it or you can't sell it. It'll say, after fees, this is how much you stand to make, and there's like a little calculator. You can plug in the numbers and shipping and all that kind of stuff, and you can tell right there on the spot, should I buy this or not? So there's another form of retail arbitrage, and it's scouting for books, which I do all the time. I use Scout IQ. That is probably the best app I've ever used. I've tried FBA Scan, I've tried Scoutify 2, and those, I didn't really get the best experience from. Especially Scoutify 2. I'll have a separate video comparing all the different ones, and then we'll have like a pros and cons list with that as well. But I use Scout IQ because it's the most direct and straightforward and easy to use just right out of the go. So basically I use my Bluetooth scanner. I'll go to a thrift store like a Goodwill or any local thrift stores, and I'll hit up the book section and scan every single book they have, especially textbooks. Textbooks are a huge seller. Obviously everyone knows, if you've been to school, how expensive textbooks are. Well, what if you could find a textbook for $3 and have it sell for $100? That's happened to me many times, and it'll happen many more times, because there's always textbooks. Depending on when you actually go to the thrift store, they could have more or less textbooks. Around the school time when it starts and ends is a good time to actually find those textbooks, because people are getting rid of them. They don't really care. They don't understand that, they spent $200 on a textbook. They could resell it for $100 minimum, or whatever, and make some of that money back. They just go ahead and donate them. So always be on the lookout for textbooks. They aren't always winners, but a vast majority of them will produce a good profit. So my main stores to go to just in general are Walmart, Target, Goodwill. Those are the big three. So Walmart and Target, those are for just product retail arbitrage. Goodwill is huge for books, but it's also good for like little finds. Like you'll find, like an action figure or something. You'll find just random little stuff at Goodwill. Sometimes it's used, sometimes it's new. I've had many flips that were non-books at Goodwill that have made me a decent amount of profit, because there'll be like 10 of something, and I'll buy it all out and sell it all on Amazon, and it'll be gone in a minute. But that's not always something that can happen at every single Goodwill you go to, because of how fast they're turning through their inventory. You're gonna want to hit up multiple and go somewhat often to check the new stuff. A new place I've just found is Goodwill Outlet, which is essentially this huge like warehouse building-ish thing, and they have these massive like troughs of stuff. For the most part, it's all crap, but there's like troughs of just like random stuff. There's troughs of clothes. Most importantly, there's troughs of books. I'll get into that in my next episode where I actually source all these products. But it was a crazy experience. We walked out of there with a lot of stuff, non-book. I'll get into that in a future episode where I actually source the products for this series and show you guys how to package them up. That'll be in a later episode. So now let's get into online arbitrage. So with online arbitrage, you're basically doing the same situation, buying low, selling high, except you're doing it online. So we can find deals on deal sites. One of my favorite is slickdeals.com or .net. I can't remember exactly, but they have great deals. They basically have people look all over the internet, and then, you know, if they find a crazy deal, they'll post it on there, and you can go, as long as it's non-Amazon. You don't want to Amazon flip products. We'll get into that on a later episode. They're kind of stingy on that if you don't do it the correct way, but we'll get into that in a later episode. But you're basically finding products that are on clearance other places and ordering them to your house. Then once they get to your house, you process them and then order or send them to Amazon. So it makes it super easy to basically just work from your house in your pajamas. Now granted, you're going to need to find multiple websites. They have a bunch of different types, and you're not always going to just like hop on there real quick and then find some crazy deal and then make a bunch of money. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you check every day, and then, you know, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, you'll find a deal and go ahead and you can buy something where it's going to work out after all the shipping, taxes, and all that kind of crap. All right, guys, so this is the way you're going to find all the products you're going to need to keep your costs under $300. All right, guys, so now I'm going to talk to you guys about all the tools you're going to need to actually process and ship your goods to Amazon. So we're going to start off with probably the more expensive one. This is a Bluetooth barcode scanner. I use this a lot for scouting for books. So you can use this for also scanning the products in, but for the most part, I just do my scouting for books with this, and it's going to run you about $50 to $60. All links for everything I'm talking about is going to be in the description, by the way. So if you want to check them out, I'm going to try and find the cheapest and still quality versions of everything. So the next thing that's a little bit less expensive, but it is very critical that you have, is a shipping scale. So this is an Accutech one. It goes up to 110 pounds. It was about $25, and I think it's pretty good for the price. It has a battery function, or you can just plug it in and use it without the batteries. I just keep it plugged in, and then, you know, you can just turn it on and off whenever you need it. And it does a pretty good job. It has a pretty big surface area. Sometimes the box will be hanging over the edge if it's a really big box, so you got to be careful with that. You don't want the box to be touching the ground, because then you won't get an accurate weight for your shipment. So you got to be really careful, but that's with any scale, you know. So the next thing I have on my list is going to be tape. So when you're actually taping up your boxes, I personally like to have like a gun type deal. You don't necessarily need one. For a long time, I just had like a roll of tape that I was using, and I was at a Walmart one time scouting for products in the clearance rack, and I found a tape gun and 2 rolls of tape. This is a Duck brand. It was only about $6. You know, you can decide, you know, if you want to just buy rolls of tape. They've got them at Home Depot. I actually picked up this 4-pack of Scotch tape for relatively inexpensive. It was about $6 or $7 for all 4 of these, so go ahead and check that out if you want. So yeah, that's a pretty important one. I like to use a lot of tape on my boxes to help reinforce it, because if you imagine a package being shipped around, you don't know exactly where it's going. You know, it could undergo a lot of fumbling and, you know, rolling around. So I like to have my box really reinforced, because that's all your money that you're going to be shipping in. The next thing I recommend you have, but it's not necessary to actually have it, I have it included in the $300, is this goof off. So this stuff is amazing for taking off anything sticky or anything like that. You can get either, this is like name brand Goo Gone or whatever. You can go to the dollar store and find it as well in smaller bottles. So if you go to the dollar store, obviously it's going to be $1 plus a little tax. This was about $3 or $4. But, you know, when you're peeling off all these labels, sometimes you'll get some that are super, super sticky, and you don't want to send those in still sticky. Speaking of scraping off labels, this is a tool that I use all the time for peeling off labels. this in particular is a iPhone. It came out of an iPhone repair kit, so it's like a little pry tool. But they sell scrapers. They sell like 3-pack, 5-packs of them. I'll include them below. I'm not going to include it in the $300 because you don't need it to get going, but I'm going to show you guys where you can get it if you are interested. For the longest time, I just scraped it with my thumb, and it works, but it just takes a little bit more time. But hey, you're spending a little bit less money. That's just more money in your back end. The next item is actually 2 items, but they go in conjunction. So we have, these are 30 up labels. You can't really tell with the camera, but it says label on the back. These are sticky individual labels that you're going to put on each and every one of your products. You'll, after you input all your stuff and you're ready to actually do the shipping portion, you will have a inventory list, and then you will be able to print out all of the barcodes. You just use this in a regular printer and it'll print out onto the sheet for you. So the next item you're going to need are shipping labels. So these ones are actually 2 peel and stick, easy to peel and stick, and these are completely free, provided by the UPS. So if you check out this video right up here, I'll show you guys a quick and easy way to order 50 at a time, 50 sheets of these, so 2 of them, so about 100 actual labels, all for 100% free. And there's nothing better in this world than stuff that is free. So real quick, I completely forgot to add one very important part. So when you're actually packaging and shipping things to Amazon, you need stuff to actually support what's inside the box, whether that be like those air pillows. You cannot use packing peanuts. Do not use packing peanuts. You can use filler paper, but I have one super easy and free method I do. I order a bunch of priority mail shipping padded envelopes from USPS. They're completely free. You can get about 100 at a time per shipment. Just go to their website and go under shipping supplies, and they have a tab that says free shipping supplies. So find the padded envelopes and order them to your house. It ships in about 2 days. So back to your regularly scheduled program. And last but not least, the most important thing in actually shipping your products to Amazon, if you can guess, boxes. So this is a Home Depot small box. These are 88 cents per unit. I don't know where everyone's living at, but you can get them any other place as well. Obviously they're going to be whatever brand of place, like a Lowe's, or you know, they have them at Walmart, but they're a little bit more expensive. I found that Home Depot has them for the best price, and the small ones are a good enough size to where you can load it up to close to around 50 pounds, which, if you didn't know already, is the threshold for weight that you have to send in to Amazon. So they don't want you to have it over 50 pounds without any sort of special markings or anything like that. And nowadays, if you send in a package that's well over 50 pounds, you're going to get a fee tagged onto that package as well. So that's why I go with the small ones. And then also, you know, they're the cheapest ones. I bought a 20-pack, so they don't give you any deals on bulk that I'm aware of. I asked and they said no. So, you know, I bought 20 of them because I'm probably going to use them. A free option that I use is actually right behind me. So I have told all my friends, family, relatives, anyone, if they get Amazon packages, to give me the boxes, as long as they're like, you know, big boxes like that, not like the tiny little ones. But, you know, they're super helpful to have a free box that you can use. Sometimes you get little tiny ones, but that, you know, you can't really do anything with that, unless sometimes they will have you send either like 1 book or 2 books or just a couple to a separate processing facility, and in that case those small boxes come in very handy because you don't have to ship very much and you don't have a lot of extra space you need to fill up. I am taking you guys along for the ride, so I'm gonna go hit up about, I don't know, probably 6 or more thrift stores. I'm actually gonna go pick up my buddy. He's gonna help me out because we got a lot of stuff planned. We're going to this Goodwill, and it's an outlet Goodwill. I don't know if anyone's ever been to one of those, but it's not really an organized place, but it has like these huge like troughs of stuff. So we're gonna be checking that out and spending a lot of time there. Hopefully we leave with a lot of good stuff, and I will keep you guys posted for the ride. So right now I'm going to pick up my buddy, and we are going to go to our first location. Adios. So here are all the books we were able to find. It is 36 of them. some crazy finds. This one right here, let's see. This one we found a bunch of, so that's going to be nice. I do have some books in the back there, but that is not from our haul. That was a textbook haul that I was able to score on. And here are all the VHS tapes. So I'm not actually going to show you guys what kind of VHS tapes they are to kind of secure our identity on Amazon. But we are able to find, this is 2 layers deep and then another bunch in this box as well. So that is a huge find. So yeah, pretty decent haul for one afternoon. Alrighty guys, so I wasn't able to get a whole lot of footage for when I was actually sourcing the products, and I apologize for that. I don't like to make excuses for reasons I couldn't, but my phone battery was running kind of low, and I still needed to scan all these books. I didn't have a charger on me, like a portable bank, which is stupid of me, obviously. But I did get a couple clips while I was at a couple different locations, and I can talk about all these places as well. So to start off, we went to a Goodwill, and we were able to pull just 3 books, but of those 3 books, we found this guy right here. Check out the profit on that one. So, you know, that was a huge win right off the bat. That really gets the spirits up and gets motivation flowing. So, then we went to a Salvation Army. We were able to pull a handful of books from there as well. Obviously, nothing as profitable as that first find, but from there, we went to a Target to just check it out to see if we could find anything. You know, no luck there, but, you know, that's kind of a given almost, where there's just like 2 different clearance racks I can check, and, you know, that's not always a winner. But it's always good to just check it out, you know. So then, from there, we went to a St. Vincent de Paul's down in the city. And this place, I'm not going to lie, it was a bit sketch. That is another reason I didn't want to film too much. I did get a little clip while I was in there, but check out all the books that are in there. There was thousands and thousands of books. We didn't get to them all. We kind of just focused in on which ones we knew were going to have some profit potential, and we were able to walk out of there with some good profit margins. Here's a couple of the finds that we had. And so basically we walked out of there with a bunch of products and also a bunch of personal stuff as well, which is good. Not just to shop, but I found this mini dolly. So that'll really come in handy when I'm actually taking all these products to the UPS store, because, you know, carrying them by hand is kind of a pain. Being able to just kind of roll them in there will be a lot easier on the old back. The last stop we made was a Goodwill outlet store, and these are huge, like I talked about. And so we found some stuff. I got a little bit of footage of the whole place, but when we actually got to the books, I had like no time to actually record. There was people, you know, going savage on these books, grabbing them just handfuls and handfuls, throwing them in their cart, handfuls, throw them in their cart, and then they were going back, scanning them all and tossing the bad ones back. So I didn't want to spend any time wasted, and so I was just going in. So here's the reason you got to be quick thinking. So I see all these people, you know, going strictly for the books. Well, I see there's a lot of different types of media in here, more specifically VHS tapes. So in the past, I found a bunch of VHS tapes at a flea market, and I was able to sell them for a very healthy profit. So I see all these VHS tapes, so there's different types as well. So I grab one of each type, take them back, scan each one, find the most profitable one, and thankfully for us, they had a whole bunch of them. So we grabbed as many of them that were good. We grabbed every one that was good, actually, and we're going to make some serious money off all these when it's all said and done, because this place you pay by the pound. So these VHS tapes didn't weigh too much, so we got them at a super great rate, and you know, probably about like maybe $1.50 or $2 for all of them. So we got some huge stuff. We also found a bunch of glasses as well, some drinking glasses, and we found out that if you sell them as a set, they sell for like $40. So those were $1 per pound as well. So that's pretty good pickup. We went from 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock. So in that time span, we walked out here with a decent amount of items. Alrighty guys, so now I'm going to actually show you guys how to list the products on Amazon. So I like to list my products on Inventory Labs, But since that's a paid program, I'm going to show you guys how to list it on here completely for free. So we're going to go to catalog right here at the top, or you can go to inventory if you want, and go to add a product. So once you're here, you're going to want to type in your product name or just find your product. In this case, we have a book, and the easiest way to do that is to type in the ISBN number. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, so here we are. So here's a sales rank. It's about 2,600,000. So let's go to listing limitations. So we're able to sell it in new, collectible, and used conditions. So this is a used book. So we're going to go ahead and click sell yours. We are going to type in an SKU. For this, I'm just going to type in a random one. We'll just do spiritual letters. So this is going to be significant to you and your inventory. It's not going to be posted anywhere on your actual products or anything like that, but I like to have mine somewhat organized. So here's what I do actually. So I sourced this product last week at some time, so 01, and then we'll do, let's just say 0105. The title of the book, which is the first letters, I do spiritual letters, and then this is a sales rank of 280,000. So we're gonna do, or 268,000. So do 268K, and then the batch number. This is all things that I've come up with, nothing that you necessarily need, but I recommend having somewhat of an organized SKU. So it's easier to find the products later on when you need to search for them, or when you need to know when you actually bought the products for your actual, money records as well. So this was batch 11. So that doesn't really mean anything to you, but this is the 11th batch I've sent in. So for my price, we're going to go here to used. We're going to click on this. And we're going to look and see, usually there's a button for Prime, but guess what? It's not selling for Prime. So we're gonna find about where it's selling. We'll look at the Keeper real quick. Look at the Keeper for the year. So let's see. Let's go ahead and price this guy. This is free shipping right here. People love the free shipping. So we're going to do somewhere in the ballpark of $18.99. Condition. I'm going to analyze the condition of the book right now. So it's in pretty decent shape. I'm going to do very good just to kind of protect myself, just in case the person receiving it doesn't think the same as what I think. I would probably actually do like new, but like I said, I want to protect myself and just do very good. And then, if you downplay yourself and it ends up, being better than what the customer expected, they're going to give you a good review. So there's two options. We have, I want to ship this item myself to the customer if it sells, and there's, I want Amazon to ship and provide customer service for my items if they sell. This is what you want. This is Amazon FBA right here. Save and finish. Next stop. So we're going to go ahead, barcode type, we're going to do an Amazon barcode. There's two options you can do. You can do Amazon barcodes or manufacturer barcodes. So we usually just want to do Amazon barcodes. It's a little bit easier. Save and continue. So information required. So we're going to click on this. This is for battery information and regulation. So this is a book, so it doesn't apply to any of that stuff. If your item has a battery in it, though, you'll want to select yes. This is the fun part. You get to figure out, how this works out. Then, you usually, let's see, contained in the product. Then you have to figure out the battery composition. You have to do some research online to figure out what kind of battery is inside your product. Takes a little bit of time, but you want to do it, and if you don't, you could get fined for it. So submit and save and continue. So now it's going to take us to the actual inbound workflow page. So we're going to go ahead and do individual products because we're just packing stuff in there, and create a new shipping plan as well. Continue the shipping plan. So we have 1 unit. Obviously, the more units you have, the more this is going to be, but for our case, it's only 1 product, just as an example, and so it's only going to show 1 unit right here. Go ahead and continue. Then you want to verify this information. Who preps? So this is very important because you are going to prep it. Prepping it means if you need to put it into a bag, you're going to put it in a bag, or if you need to, well, you're going to need to put a barcode on it, so you're putting the barcode on it. So go ahead and do that. Choose category. It doesn't apply to any of these. No prep needed. Examples, books, DVDs, video games. Okay. But they still require labeling. Choose. So we have that all squared away. If we do Amazon, let's see if it's gonna update this. Usually it'll say how much it's gonna cost, but I don't know what's going on to that. We'll do merchant though. So who labels? Merchant, we had it set there. Let's switch it to Amazon again. Okay, 20 cents per unit. They will charge you 20 cents per label they have to put on your products. If you're doing huge bulk, this might be worth your time, but for me, I like to keep it as cost effective as possible, so I label it myself. So you're going to go ahead and print labels for this page. It pops up a PDF. Then you have this right here. So that gives you the barcode, and this works for a 30 up sheet as I showed in the tools and supplies. So this is going to be 30 up. You know, go ahead and print it. Sometimes the scaling is weird for it, so I'll show you what I do. So make sure you have this turned off, fit to page. Don't have it fit to page because then it'll change it a little bit, and then it'll clip some of the barcode off. So I'm not going to print this out because I want to do more and I don't want to waste labels. So then you're going to go ahead and continue. So I'm going to be shipping it to Illinois MDW2. So here's the shipment. I'm not going to accept and approve it because, well, actually for the sake of this video, I'll go ahead and do it. Might as well. So I can show you the actual full process. So we're going to go ahead and do work on shipment. You can do also this, view shipment contents, and it'll show you all this stuff. And like it says right here, we recommend not packing or sealing boxes until you have provided box content information in the prepare shipment step in the workflow. So that means make sure you have everything you need in the box. We're going to do small parcel delivery. This is for, as you can read right here, shipment at least 150 pounds, so big dog stuff. I found with trial and error and just testing that UPS is the cheapest option for me, and I also have a UPS store right up the street from my house, so I can drop it off very easily. So, next stop, how will the shipment be packed? Everything in one box. Depending on how much it's going to weigh, you might do multiple boxes as well. But we're going to do, for the sake of this video, if everything fits in one box under 50 pounds, we will do everything in one box. So, this box, hypothetically, is going to weigh 2 pounds. It is going to be the dimensions of 4 inches. This is length, height, width. Length, height, width. How long, how wide, how tall. So we're going to do 4 by 4 by 4. Confirm it. And for the shipping charges, it'll show you right here, so we're going to calculate it real quick. So I am not going to accept these terms and stuff and accept the charges because I am not actually shipping this, but it gives you the estimated weight. The way this works, the billable weight, it'll put you in a certain bracket. So let's test around real quick. So box weight, let's try just 1 pound and see what happens. Oh. Calculate. So this will usually, you know, it has to do with the box dimensions as well for the actual billable weight. So sometimes it'll put you in a bracket and based on the bracket, it will charge you a certain price. So $3.46 for the 1 pound. Let's go ahead and change this to 2 pounds and see what that was. I know you guys can see, but I don't remember what it was because I didn't look too deep. 346, let's see. So $3.53, so just a couple cents more per that 1 pound. So obviously it's going to be way cheaper the more stuff you send. So that's why I recommend getting it as close to 50 pounds as possible, because it'll get down to the point where my average is somewhere in the ballpark of like 40 to 45 cents per unit that I'm paying for shipping. So that number will be different for everyone, but that's usually the average for most Amazon sellers that are doing it by the 50 pounds. And this is because, you know, you get that average from over time, shipping in more products, and, you know, doing it a certain way, you'll come to learn different things about shipping it in. So then you're going to go ahead and accept these charges. I know this is grayed out right here, but you're going to do print box labels, and then it'll give you another PDF like it did before for the actual package or the item labels. And then this is where you put in the page of those 2 labels I talked about in the last video, and you go ahead and print those out and slap those 2 stickers on the box. They need to be visible. It tells you all the instructions you need right here. Make sure you follow Amazon's instructions to a T. They're very, very precise on how they want their things, and you need to follow it, because if you don't, they can say, okay, you can't sell here anymore, and obviously you don't want that. So follow their instructions, and that's basically it. You know, the more items you have on here, the bigger this is going to be. It'll be a lot different, but that is the basics of it. So we have a total of 46 MSKUs, so that's just like the individual SKUs, and a total of 52 items. Average sales rank 252,000. That's pretty decent. Total sales value 1,600. Buy cost $383. That's because there's a bunch of textbooks in the mix. And the total net profit is looking pretty decent, $637.53. So now we're going to do the fun part of actually packaging them up. So you'll see a little bit of that process here in a second. Alright, so right now we're in Inventory Lab. We have all the labels printed out right over here. So we're going through all the books, and we are labeling them and putting them in the box. As we do that, we are calculating the weight, and once it gets up to about 50 pounds, so we're going to tape it up and start a new box. So this is the process, and we're going to get to work. Alright guys, so finally after about 4 hours of processing and packing, we're finally finished. If you look, 2 packages filled to the brim. One was 41 pounds, the other was 50 on the dot. So Amazon used to be a little bit more flexible with their weight requirements. Now if you have a box with multiple items in it, it has to be 50 pounds or less. So we are weighing it, and I use Inventory Labs, and I've never had this issue before because I just threw it all in a box and put the Team Lift stickers on there. But after we had already sent the shipment information to Amazon, we found out that we had weighted a little bit lopsided. So what we were seeing was 48 pounds, but when we re-weighed it, it was 52 pounds. So when we tried to put in 52 pounds, it said no, unless it's one item, it can be over 50 pounds with the Team Lift stickers. So then we had to rework it. That took another like 20 or 30 minutes to figure out how to do in the program, because I've never run into that issue before. So huge shout out to Sean and Addison. They helped me so much to get all these shipments ready, and they worked through me with all these issues. So huge shout out if you're watching this. So I'm now going to take the packages to the UPS store. Today is Thursday, and there's supposed to be a huge snowstorm tomorrow, Friday, and it's supposed to go Friday night to Saturday. Thankfully, these packages don't have to go very far, so I'm really hoping that they can make their way to the fulfillment center before the snowstorm hits, because I don't want my packages to be stuck on a truck somewhere or in another facility during the snowstorm. So I'm going to go take those up there right now. So, not including the textbooks, I'm going to give a ballpark estimate of the profits from the book. So this is a low-end profit, is somewhere in the ballpark of $400. So after all the expenses, that includes the buy cost and also the shipping expenses like the boxes, we have a total profit of $354.89. So if you divide that number by 8, 8 being the amount of time we took from 4 hours for sourcing the products and then another 4 hours for actually prepping and shipping the products, we have $44. If you round down, it was like 44.30 was the change, so $44 an hour. So this is money that you're going to get paid out way over time. And also, this is just from the books alone, as I said, not including the textbooks, so more money than $44 an hour. But the thing is, you're going to get paid that while you're asleep, while you're on vacation, while you're running errands, while you're, not working your regular job if you have a regular job, or while you're working your regular job. This is just money that just constantly flows in over time. So if you think about it, putting in those 8 hours in one day and having it pay you for months to come is probably way more worth it than working 8 hours just for one paycheck. We're going to talk about pricing strategies and how to strategically place your product in the mix of the other prime sellers, if there are any, or how to maximize your profit potential. There's essentially 2 pricing strategies. The first one being the lowest price, which this in some instances can be better off. So the way you're going to price items kind of depends on how fast they're actually selling. So imagine you have a book, for example, and it's selling maybe in the 2 to 3 million sales rank, which is, it's kind of slow, but it's not, dead halt slow. So you see the lowest possible listing for that book being $150 or $200, and you see maybe some other listings that are much lower than that. You could throw that book in around like 100 to 120, so that way you're the first sale. You're also still getting a profit, a nice healthy profit at that, and you're most likely going to be that next sale as well. So that's the first pricing strategy, the low ball. The second pricing strategy is based more off of the quality of your object. So say you have a book that's brand new, you're selling it as used, but it's basically brand new. So you're looking at your listings, you see one for 15 and it's like acceptable rank, so like a low quality, and you see another one for like 18, which is like good quality, and you see another one for like $30 at very good. So you could come in somewhere in the ballpark of 25 to 30. Like I said, it depends on the actual sales rank of the book. So if it's a quick moving book and there's a bunch of listings, you could put it down a couple, like 3 or 4, and you're still going to sell your item, but at the same time you're still going to maximize your profit potential, because at the end of the day we want more profit. We don't want to leave any profit on the table, or leave as little as possible. If you see a strategic price, you kind of want to be like a little under it, or you can use free trial programs where you can see how many items that seller has in stock. So the way these programs work is you get a certain amount per day if you want to use the free version, or you can pay for it and get unlimited access. But it will show you they have this many books in stock, so then you can look like, oh, this person has one, so they're going to sell out real quick. You can price yours higher. Then once they sell out, you're going to be the lowest offer. Then you're going to sell your book or item or whatever you're selling. So yeah, that's basically it. So let me know if you guys want me to do any more series like this in the future. I like to do more of the lower end stuff. I haven't gotten into like private label, which costs a lot more money. I'm more on the retail arbitrage and like the quick flip side. So this is my domain. I love buying low, selling high. I think everyone enjoys making money. So, I want to share my information with you guys so that you guys can go out there. If you don't have a lot of money to start off with, this is a perfect way to start hustling and start making money online, to where you don't have to spend that much for an overhead. You can start with just a couple $100s, which over time it might seem a lot, but with any business it's going to require money. So might as well start at a lower end. There might be a lot of other people because the cost of entry is lower, but at the same time, there's plenty of opportunities for everyone. So you can do this, your mom can do this, your grandma can do this, anyone can do this, but it really just comes down to who wants to do it more. So hustle hard, make your money. This is Dave from Monetary Ocean. Don't wait, dive in.